What's going on, everybody? This is Jeff with Altcoin Buzz. Today, we're going to talk about this massive sell-off that's been taking place. If you know anything about me, you know I'm not no one to run away from the fact that the market is not favorable. I haven't been the type to run away from the reddest of the red days. Obviously, if you're looking at me right now, you can be like, "Damn, Jeff, have you ever heard about wearing a hat?" No, I'm actually, I've been hanging out in Tropea, and I've just been spending tons of time outside because I'm traveling and it's summertime. But the market right now, the way that we see it, is definitely in a tough place. It's also in a very opportunistic place, depending on how you view cryptocurrency in general. I've posted a couple times, for those of you who are keeping up with me on Twitter, because that's the only way I can really keep up with you guys while I'm on a train or while I'm out and about and I'm looking at the portfolio and I'm trying to keep up. I can't do live feeds when I got 0.5 gigabytes, so I'm on Blockchain J on Twitter. But I mean, we'll get teased here and there, and then we'll, the last few days, I mean, if I'm looking at Crypto Pro, the app that I use, I mean, shoot, we're down top 10 cryptos down 10%, 13% again. I mean, so it's just constantly a sell off. Gamer for life. This guy knows nothing. You lose money with your advice. Dude, gamer for life, you got to stop blaming other people, guy. It does you no good. I mean, I don't know. I've never given you advice. I've never talked to you on the phone. You never signed a piece of paper with me. I don't know why you're crying on this channel and I'm watching it at the same time. Like, you're a gamer. Like, go play a video game and do something that's going to be less harmful to you. Okay. If you can't play in the big boy world, I mean, you can blame me for whatever. You can blame McAfee. You can blame Mike Novogratz. You can blame Roger Ver. You can blame whoever you want, but it's not going to do anything for you. It's not going to change your outcome. So, I mean, my advice, what have I given you bad advice? So, I mean, you can cry about it and come on here and say, don't trust Jeff. He doesn't know what he's talking about. But anyways, oh yeah, so someone says, who the hell tried to kill McAfee? If he dies, Bitcoin dies too. No, come on, man. McAfee, yeah, you guys saw what happened to McAfee. If you didn't see what's happening with McAfee, he's in a hospital bed. Someone apparently tried to hurt him. So, well, he says he got poisoned. So we'll see. Guys, we got 5 likes, 71 people. If you guys can crack up that like button, that'll help get this thing out there. Yeah, I mean, McAfee's one person. I mean, at the end of the day, the market, we've heard rumors that Tether was manipulating the price. I mean, we're all in this together. Like, I'm not an insider. I don't work for Wall Street. I'm a participant in the market. I was a participant in the market when it was high, and I was a participant in the market now that it's sour. I was a participant in the market when it was at $400 for a Bitcoin. So, I mean, I've seen multiple different aspects of it. It's just, that was when I bought my first Bitcoin, right? But when I actually started looking at Bitcoin, it was a lot lower than that. But I mean, we've seen these kind of things happen, and as we always say, it's kind of cliche by now. No one has a crystal ball. We don't know where the market's going, right? But it's one of two ways. I mean, you either believe that digital cash, it's just like that with stocks. When you're in stocks, right? Some people have bought at all-time highs in stocks and they failed. I mean, we're talking about some of the most successful fund managers out there got burned their very first few times at it, and now they're billionaires. So, I mean, it's like, if you get knocked down, you got to keep going. Just because when you first started playing sports, for example, you might have struck out, you might not have been good, but then all of a sudden, you went back on the field and you started practicing, went to the batting cage. The next thing you know, you're cracking home runs over the fence. I mean, that's kind of how it is. It's like, the first thing is just getting started. Then you got to practice. Then you got to really become like a professional. So, I mean, there's evolution to this. If you think that just because you started getting into crypto and you started watching Altcoin Buzz and you were like, Jeff said this, so I'm going to go do that. It's Jeff's fault if it goes down, but if it's, I don't know, Jeff Neffit if it goes up. I mean, that's not the right mentality to have. That's kind of like, really? So, you know, we in markets, you know, that's why you have charts that look like this. They go up, they go down. It's charts. Look at any chart. Look at the NASDAQ. Look at the Dow 5, you know, look at the Nokia. I mean, this is just the way the markets go. It's really not going to be in your best interest to blame anyone other than your own. I'm not saying blame yourself, because, you know, it's not about blaming yourself. It's like markets do this stuff, guys, and we're in a brand new market. It's like you could hit a home run here, you could hit a grand slam, you could become world famous, you could become a billionaire with it, or you could lose the whole thing. And that's kind of where we're at, right? You don't want to overcommit yourself to something because it could go like Crypto Nomad says, when dumpster. Yeah, I mean, we've watched the market really just keep tanking here. That's kind of where we're at. So what's driving the price down? You know, we've got exchanges getting hacked again. We've got weird, bizarre news. We've got even CNBC talking a big game. So one of the things we tweeted out on Altcoin Buzz, we said straight up, you got 1,000 USD. Can you buy crypto? You have 400 coin cash. Tell us how you invest it. Ready, set, go. And so, I mean, or you could say, I'm not buying a damn thing. I'm done with this market. I mean, I know you guys want to hear about all this other stuff, but this is where we're at. We're in a situation where the market is consolidating. It's been consolidating. We don't know how far this consolidation will happen. I mean, you've got Tone Vase. He's saying it's going to go to 4,900. He's a TA guy. We're at 6,100 right now, or 6,219 as we speak. I mean, it's one of those kind of situations. Crack up the likes, guys. We're at 19. I appreciate it whenever you guys help us out like that, because it really stimulates this line feed. Cliff I was wrong. Well, name one person who's been right. I mean, you know, but I mean, are you signing contracts with these guys? No. So you're just kind of a participant in the market. You're listening to people who claim to know something. You're listening to this guy, Jeff. You're listening to this guy, Supo Man. You're listening to McAfee. You're listening to Cliff High. But at the same time, you're doing your own due diligence. So, I mean, we can't blame anyone. I mean, if anything, we can look at where the money's going. Let's look at that. Okay. So if we just look at where the money's going, who's getting rich while other people are losing? Well, I do know one thing's for sure. Exchanges are getting very rich right now. And I know that there's some people out there calling themselves Bitcoin millionaires and billionaires. Now, sure, they wrote it out. You know, we know about Satoshi Light. He sold Litecoin at all-time highs. I mean, we know Binance is getting crazy rich right now. I mean, how much were they charging cryptocurrencies to get listed on their exchange on top of exchange fees, right? So how much do you think CZ has in his bank account? A lot of money. I mean, and here's the thing. I mean, can you really blame these guys for taking their crypto and cashing it into fiat? But I mean, that's where the money's going. I mean, who's selling the crypto? Little boy Jeff, little boy Billy Joe, little boy Stevie. It's not these guys. It's the guys with the millions and the billions of dollars. And like me, I've got tens of thousands of dollars in the market, right? I've watched my tens of thousands go over 100,000. I've watched my tens of thousands go below that, okay, where I'm at now. And I'm like, eek. I haven't sold into fiat, okay? But I know people have. How do I know people have? Is because we've watched money go out of the market. So, I mean, that's where you really want to start looking is, where's the money gone? Who sold? Who exited the party? Who showed up to the party and who checked out on you? I mean, that's what they say, pump and dump, right? I mean, I'm not trying to, but can you really blame them? I mean, they pumped, they rode the pump, they dumped on you. They sold on us all. But I mean, can you blame them? No, because they're participating in the market. So this is where it goes back to the whole, we can't really blame anyone, but we can take personal accountability for how we're managing our own portfolio. Like, it does us no good to point fingers if we're going to participate and we're going to play with the big dogs because we're trying to make big money in a market, to blame the big dogs when they start playing dirty. I mean, it's just the way it is. That's right, Rostan. He says YouTubers and influencers aren't the problem. I mean, there is some element of pumping and this and that, and I mean it can lead to things, and it can really go on and on. And I've seen that personally. I think that could potentially be an issue because if we mentioned back in the day when things were booming, if a YouTuber mentioned something, people would just, unbeknownst to the YouTuber might not even know because I didn't even know. Like I would say, hey, I like this coin, I like where it's at, and the next thing I know, everyone who watched that video would go buy. I never forced anyone to go buy anything, but they were doing it. Then when I learned about that, I was like, whoa, hold on here. People are doing that. This is influence, right? So, but I think every influencer has been humbled, especially by this market. I mean, it's been a tough challenge, but I mean, who you follow, it's up to you who you choose to follow and who you don't choose to follow. I don't think anyone's forcing you to follow anybody, but regardless of all that, I mean, if we're just dialing it in and we're really looking at the market, I mean, it's looking nasty right now. I mean, I I asked that question about those top five coins, those top four coins, and people always give me crap about when I say Ripple or I say Bitcoin Cash, but I'm really liking Bitcoin Cash. I like the synergy behind it. I like the people who are backing it. I mean, regardless of if you think Craig Wright's Satoshi or not, I mean, he's a big Bitcoin Cash guy. Roger Ver, I mean, some of the very early Bitcoin guys that were driving up Bitcoin and evangelizing Bitcoin have jumped ship and they've gone to Bitcoin Cash. And Bitcoin Cash sitting at 777 right now. I mean, that says something, right? When I was in Hong Kong, I bought Bitcoin at like 700. It went up to 1400 within a week. I mean, that was double. I held on to it, and I still hold on to it because I think the prospects of Bitcoin Cash are still a lot higher. But people always want to, they want to lynch people for saying, "Oh, Bitcoin Cash." But Bitcoin Cash right now is the only form of Bitcoin actually evangelizing Bitcoin as a brand. Like Bitcoin has become so like technical, the people behind Bitcoin, there's no real like evangelizing of the Bitcoin product or brand name. It's all Bitcoin Cash. Like all of the sponsors and the ambassadors of Bitcoin have gone to Bitcoin Cash. So when I see that, I'm like, that says something right there. I mean, you guys can yell at me and say, "Oh, Jeff, I'm unsubbing. I'm done with you. You're crazy. But hey, call when you see the sky's blue. Okay, the sky's blue, and someone says the sky's blue, and you're going to challenge them that it's not blue. I mean, is it my fault if the sky's blue when that's happening? No, I don't know. But have I been wrong? Yeah. Has my portfolio, like I said, my portfolio has been so big and massive at points, especially in December, from just my investments that I had from June and July and August and September and October. And where I'm at now, it's nowhere near where I was. So I mean, I've ridden it up and down, and I'm holding on. I mean, now I'm not saying I'm holding on for dear life because I have a day job. Okay, like all the rest of us have a day job, and I never sold the farm to go all in on crypto. But I mean, I'm still holding strong. Thanks to everyone who pumped up those likes there. We're at 37, so we've doubled them. Thanks to everyone who did that. But yeah, I mean, we're riding the waves. I mean, that's surfing. I mean, I lived in Hawaii for a long time. Well, not a long time, but if you've lived in Hawaii, you know about riding waves. Like if you're going to get in the water, you're not going to blame the wave when it starts crashing down on you. I mean, I've been in waves where the waves will take you, they'll tumble you like a washing machine, and you'll get sand all up in your britches and all that jazz. And you'll have snot dripping out of your nose because the salt water just went all up in your nasal cavity, and you're just like, whoa. The ocean is powerful. I mean, that's kind of what we've seen with the financial markets, in particular with cryptocurrency here lately. So he said, Crypto Minion says, "Stop smoking, Jeff." Yeah, no, I don't know if you knew this or not, but it's not easy to get anything to smoke out here, and I actually haven't even tried. I don't like challenging foreign authorities on smoking illegal drugs, so I haven't been smoking anything. But the thing that's got me a little bit riled up is just the community of crypto people who, there's a whole bunch of mature people, but every once in a while immature people get involved and they kind of find you and they kind of press your buttons, and then you have a lot of time to think about it, and then I get to talk to you guys about it. Cypher says I'll say something. Yeah, no, when I travel, I really don't like to push my luck with foreign authorities, period. But you guys said you don't like hearing travel stories, so I'll leave that out of this conversation. I was telling you guys about Island Hopper TV last time. You guys were like, we don't want to hear about Island Hopper TV. I don't have a channel called Altcoin Buzz that promotes crypto. Okay, Chris Rock. Crypto Nomad says, I quit weed. What? Who said that? What's that, Jeff Thompson? Who said what? All right, let's talk about something other than marijuana. Yeah, traveling is fun, man. It's fun. It's especially, when you're out there when you're out there traveling, you get to see what like the world dynamic is, and like you get to use foreign currencies, and you can see how a cryptocurrency can be used in replacement of that. And there's a lot of people out there coming to the realization that we're really a long ways away from using cryptocurrency as an everyday currency. And it's got a long ways to go. And Mike Novogratz recently tweeted out, and I responded to him. Well, he said, hey, I'm going to be speaking at this major forum. What are some big pressing issues for cryptocurrency? By the way, I think this is Venice behind me. I'm in Milan. I look like Milan. I have not seen a river here, for those of you who are wondering. And I'm going to be going to Venice, Italy. Yes, I'm going there. But Miss Lowler says, Jeff, did you break $1 million in September, October? No, but man, my portfolio was looking jazzy. Like I felt like I was walking on the moon. I thought it was going to keep going up. I mean, I really did. I went moonshot. I took a moonshot with crypto from my stuff that I bought way before November. I went on the moonshot with the market. So I know what it's like to have consistent 8 times gains on a position. But I also have watched that all come back down to, I think we're at like November levels right now. And that has nothing to do with anything other than the fact that the market has just gone sour. And I mean, a lot of these altcoins need to, here's the thing. When someone gets listed on an exchange and they pay that big $300,000 charge to get listed on Binance, how do they pay for it? Well, they probably dump a bunch of coins that you've invested in their coin, and then they probably have to dump those and use that money to get listed. So that's why, like, it used to be like when they get listed on Binance, their coin would pump in price because it would be more accessible to a bunch of buyers. But in this down market, now when a coin gets listed, you'll notice the price goes down. Well, I got to thinking about it. I was like, yeah, that's probably because they used some of their supply to pay for their listing. So think about that. Now, I mean, how much? So that's where it goes back to, like, why are these exchanges still charging crazy amounts of money, getting crazy rich while people are hurting? And, that's where we got that whole fat cat banker thing, because while bankers get rich, the rich get richer, the poor get poorer. So, I mean, that's kind of what we're looking at. And I'm not pointing any fingers. I think Binance has done a great job, and I think they're doing everything they should be doing, I guess. But at the end of the day, how do you think these coins pay to get their project listed? Do you think that their founder just pulls $300,000 out of their bank account and says, hey, let me just pay for this out of my money? No, he uses the coin supply and probably pays for it with that. Yeah, I mean, the whole we need use case in cryptocurrency, that's kind of played out too. Thanks to everyone who crushed up the likes. We're at 51. Let's see if we can get this thing over 100 likes. So we're at 51 likes. Let's see if we can get it over 100. We're already at 208 viewers, which is a credit to you guys, not me. So strong hands will become the new whales. Jeff, watch Snovio chat once, please. Attention, Jeff. Do you know about Mike says Island Hopper TV is legit, guys. Thanks, Mike. Thanks, Digital Asset Investor. What do you think about Apollo currency? I'm not really doing too much with any new currencies right now, like any of the new coins. I'm sure there's some real gems in there, like some real solid projects in there, but I'm staying away from a lot of those low tier coins. I mean, there's some of the lower tier coins that I am still like actively looking at. Yet again, people are going to get all, oh, Jeff, I'm on something, this and that. And I don't really care. I'll just speak what's on my mind. Like I'm liking Bitcoin private, the long term prospects of Bitcoin private. I still really like SafeX, but those are some of the coins outside the top 10, top 20 that I like. As much as I'm frustrated with these exchanges still charging so much for listings, which is causing these coin prices to dump when you're like, hey, that coin just got listed. Why did the price go down? Well, it's because they sold some of it, which lowered the market cap. But I mean, that's a theory. I'm not saying that's a conspiracy. It's just that's a theory. That's just a regular old theory, a financial theory. Let's call it that, a crypto theory. But Art Bicker says a lot of people are saying crypto is dead. What do you think? It depends on who you're following. I mean, are you following a bunch of like 22-year-old Lambo hustlers, or are you following like Roger Ver and Mike Novogratz and John McAfee and like, all these guys, the Bitcoin Jesus, what's his name, Andreas Andropoulos. I mean, all these guys, Calvin Ayers, or are you following like 22-year-olds or 25-year-olds who bought at all-time highs and don't know what it's like to go from an all-time high to a low? Me personally, I've gone through so many things. I'm 35 years old. I've been the young guy who did crazy things. Then I've been the successful guy who went like, wow, how is this happening to me? Like, what did I do to get so hooked up? And then I've, had to start over again. And then I've gone back up again. It's like people think that I'm traveling the world because I got rich on crypto. No, I'm traveling the world because my day job was successful. Right. I mean, he says, Papo Nea Shelley says, silly to think crypto is dead. Crypto isn't dead. Crypto isn't about fiat, folks. Michael asked me, where am I now? I'm in Milan, Italy. AC Milan, the soccer team. Most people only know about Milan because of AC Milan, but there's a lot here in Milan. I mean, it's one of Italy's finest cities in the sense that it's one of the most modern cities. Trying to answer some of these questions. When are you going back to Thailand? I love Thailand. I'll be going back there probably all my life. I just love Asia. Like tonight I had sushi. It's funny you guys go off and talk about things other than crypto. I love it. But to crypto homies out there, they're like, Jeff, just talk crypto. Don't talk politics. Don't talk about food. Don't talk about travel. Just talk about crypto. But then they don't comment. No, digital asset investor. I have family. You mean, do I have kids? No, I don't have a wife and kids. I have not visited Vietnam, but I hope to, Nugent. I wonder how Litecoin will go. Oh, I know. Litecoin, like, what is Litecoin at? Like $90 right now? Or let me check. Where is Litecoin at? It's at 86. I mean, I remember in December when Litecoin was just like shooting up. I remember when it crossed 100, then it went up to 200, then it went up above 300. It happened so fast. And I was just like, whoa, because when I bought my first Litecoin, it was like, when did I actually get into Litecoin? I think at $48. So I'm just sharing, my story about Litecoin, but I had bought in Litecoin at $48 and I watched it go up to what, 350 thereabouts. And I was like, man, how high can Litecoin go? Can it go to 1,000? Why not? I mean, I just watched Litecoin in 1 month go from, I think it was like at $70 for a long time, $80 for a long time. And then it went up to 350. And then, now it's back down to $86 where it was pre-run. Same thing with Ripple. I mean, I bought my first Ripple around 18 cents. And then I watched Ripple go up to 350. I mean, this has just been my experience in the market. And I'm sure some of you guys bought when it was at 350. I mean, I don't know. Maybe I was just lucky to be early to the thing and then I watched it go up, but I mean, I still held on to it. See, I didn't sell it at the top. Now you guys will say, oh, this guy's a dumbass. He didn't sell, which is fair. But truthfully, I didn't feel like I should sell because if I sold, and I was making the channel at the time, I was like, no, I just got to ride it out. So, that's where people were saying, well, when does better judgment and your channel kind of conflict each other? And so that was a good point, because I think if I didn't have the channel, I would have sold at all-time highs like everything. But I held, and I still hold it all. So I'm a big evangelist for cryptocurrency to this day. I'm reading some of these comments. Heidi from Crypto Tips is sexy. Okay. I've never heard of Heidi from Crypto Tips, but all right. Shashwat says huge. Weak hands being cleaned out, time to buy the dip. Yeah. I mean, you have to wonder, like, because I mean, the truth is there's just so much potential for e-cash and digital currency and cryptocurrency. You just have to wonder at what point in time people are coming in, and you just have to think, like, are they just really cleaning out weak hands? I mean, like, how long are they going to continue to clean out weak hands? Thank you guys for all the smashed up the likes. We're at 78, 245 people. When we were below 100 for a while. So thanks to everyone who crushed up the likes. Let's see if we can get this to over 100. Thank you to everyone who's been pumping that thing. I wish I knew the bottoms and the tops. Yeah, I mean, go look at any chart when you get into a coin. There was a point, see, this is how the market evolves. There was a point in time, like, for example, Power Ledger. I invested in the Power Ledger ICO. That, I think when Power Ledger first hit the market, it was at like 1 penny. Power Ledger went up to 128. That's 128 times gains. Confirm what Power Ledger hit. I think it was 4 cents. I said 1 cent, but let me just confirm what Power Ledger had hit the market. Right now it's at 22 cents. Now, people who bought Power Ledger at 128, they're hating life. Well, I hope they don't hate life, but it's only money. But let me see where Power Ledger, I don't want to give inaccurate information, but it was 4 cents, like 5 cents. So it wasn't 128 times gain, but it went from 5 cents all the way up to, like, let me see where the all-time high was. It was 164. So those are some massive gains. But if back in September, October, there was a time, if you were investing in ICOs, I mean, you were getting massive freaking results. Like, Power Ledger made me a lot of crypto. It did. Like, seriously, like, I had put like $300 in a $300 in the Power Ledger, and that turned into like a full Bitcoin. So, but now if you invest in an ICO, it's like a crapshoot. I don't even think it's profitable. So, I mean, you can't really blame people for saying that ICOs were hot, because they were. Like, back in the day, like back in like Q4 2017, if you were investing in ICOs, there was a potential that you were going to make 20, 30, 40 times gains, and it happened. Nowadays, I don't know if it's so possible. We'll see. We could revisit these times, but I mean, these ICOs are going to have to prove to be more than just like, hey, we're creating a decentralized cryptocurrency that's on the blockchain. They're going to have to actually deliver. Yeah, that was one that actually Ralph Raymond says Power Ledger team were invited to see Branson. That was why I invested in Power Ledger ICO, because my friend, I forgot how I found out about Power Ledger, but someone had said that they were going to hang out at Necker Island in the Virgin Islands with Richard Branson. And I was like, I'll throw $300 at this. I had no idea it was going to make me like a couple $1,000s in crypto at the time. Yeah, I mean, this is the thing. I mean, I've seen, he says the ICO game is cooling way down, oversaturated. It got oversaturated, yeah. Yeah, and I think there was a time where people were starting to notice, like, wow, where are all these ICOs coming? Because it was such a rack. I mean, this is what happens in life, guys, is like sometimes things get hot. It's called catching the hot hand, and you got to ride the wave when it's hot. And the thing is, you want to be on that wave before it gets hot. And so, like, that's the things that you live and learn, right? And then you got to learn when the wave is starting to reach its peak, then you finally cut ties with it. You say, hey, this is reached its high, right? So that's cryptocurrency. Whole market is oversaturated. It could be oversaturated, but at the same time, it's also like we're in very interesting times because there could be a whole bunch of use cases that come out of this, assuming these projects are actually working. That's the scary thing is, are these projects actually working or are they getting turned off? Like you as the investor might be getting turned off, but are these projects giving up? That's the thing that worries me the most is like, are all these, were some of these ICO projects Lambo boys and girls? There was a couple, whatever's, but the point is that I think some of these projects were just in it for the Lambos. We always make fun of all the investors, but are these projects that have lost so much value? Are they still diligently plugging away on their projects? And that's why I've said now I'm just focused on the top 10, top 20 right now. Sure, there's a lot of altcoins out there that are really focused and hungry. They're outside of that. But for me, I'm like, the top tier is where the safe plays are right now because they actually have the capital and they're building something. But like Utrust, for example, like that's one that Utrust is one that I invested in, and they just have really been hurting. I mean, I saw they were trying to be the next PayPal of crypto and all this and that, and I like PayPal. I hold PayPal stock. I have Verizon stock. I also hold Dent, which is not necessarily like Verizon, but I have mobile. I have Telcoin. But I have portfolio in stocks. My stocks are right now the safest bets, the safest investments, but I still think crypto is where you can make the biggest moves. I mean, but we're not talking about stocks because you guys get all pissed off when I start talking about stock market. What do I think about Neo? I think I don't hold any Neo. I'll say that. Temple Ray says crypto is dead. Better put your money in the stock market. Well, the thing about saying that, my friend, you're also missing a very important principle. The stock market is at an all-time high right now. So when is the bubble going to pop on the stock market? And being that we've already seen the crypto market bubble has popped, I think you're still missing the very important fundamental is you buy low when there's blood on the streets, and then you sell when it hits the high. So right now the stock market is at an all-time high. Crypto market's at a very low. It's not an all-time low, but it's at a pretty good low. I mean, it's at a yearly low, we'll say that. So, I mean, you got kind of your fundamentals a little bit backwards, my friend, and that's kind of dangerous when you're skiing down that slope. Oh my gosh, they're talking about BitConnect. Oh geez, let's not talk about BitConnect. That boat already left the harbor. We're done with that. What comes down to cryptocurrency? The modern investor knows a lot more than you, Jeff. Opinions are just opinions. All right, Margie, have a good one. Peace out, brother. Keep kicking butt and following Modern Investor, whatever you guys got going on. What coins am I stacking? Like I said earlier, I'm really focused on the top 10. I mean, I said I like Bitcoin Cash. I like Bitcoin. I love Ethereum, Ripple, some of the top tier coins. I mean, those are the ones that I'm really focused on. Staking. Oh, staking. Oh, he said staking. I don't really do staking. I believe in proof of work. Hey, thanks, Jeffrey Byron. XRP will dwarf them all. I mean, we don't know, man. We really don't know. I mean, when we make these outrageous, outlandish assumptions or predictions, I mean, that's a slippery slope. Like, this is not sports, right? Like right now we're all saying, well, who's going to win the World Cup? And I just posted on Twitter on Blockchain. Yeah, I said, who's going to win the World Cup? Right now I like France, Uruguay, or France, Spain, Portugal, Croatia, and maybe one other team I can't remember right now, but it's not important. But that's fan clubs, okay? That's fanfare. With crypto, it's more about fundamentals and basics of like it's a little bit different than sports. So like people are like, oh, yeah, we're gonna kick butt. It's bringing the sports element into business, and fanfare doesn't really work very good in business. It works. What works in business is deliverability. Like, are we delivering on the timelines, and is our tech innovative? Is it cutting edge? And that's kind of what we look for in business, not necessarily like how many people can we rally behind this coin, or how many can we rally behind the stock. I mean, there's more of a pump. It's cool, whatever. But if you're getting excited about the tech and the important fundamentals of the project, that's what you really want to be focused on, in my opinion. I mean, everyone's got opinions. Like the one guy who said he's got the modern investor as his best friend, and he's going to listen to him. Jeff's failed him and let him down, blah blah blah. And he's talking like I called him up and he signed a multi-million-dollar investment package with me or something. Matty SOP says, Justin's son is a true go-getter. Randall McMurphy says, Jeff, hold me, I'm scared. Did you get your teddy? You got to get your big teddy. You got to tell your best friend to go to the fair and win you a teddy. You can hug that. Wow, 121 likes. We're pumping up. We got 272 people on the live feed, so it keeps getting bigger. I guess I'll keep this thing going. What do you think of all EOS news? EOS, I am not talking about EOS. Like EOS, you can go to other channels to get EOS information. Like EOS, to me, they're just like Ethereum. They went from an ERC20 token to try and do more in Ethereum. They've raised a ton of money. Now they've got to put their money where their mouth is, and they've got to work. That's it. I'm trying to read some of these comments, but you guys are talking about John McAfee was poison. Yeah, I mean, there's some. Have you guys checked out John McAfee's Twitter? He was talking about that. It's kind of crazy. Oh, I know ETN. We always bring up ETN, and I mean, you guys can blame whatever YouTuber talked about ETN, but at the end of the day, we need to be talking to ETN and saying, what's going on with your project? Where'd all the money go? Where'd the market cap go, ETN? Yet again, did they dump their coins to get listed on a bunch of exchanges, and then, or did they go buy pool tables with their profit? I don't know. Who knows? But I know they got a bunch of pool tables in their office, and they got this big office in England, and I don't know where all their market cap went. I mean, did their investors dump on us? I don't know. I still hold all my ETN. I can't say that I sold. But even if I did sell, I mean, I don't want to blame people for selling. I mean, because then we're going down a slippery slope, because at the end of the day, we're all investors, right? We're not in it to just hold the thing forever. Jeff, can we please talk about the fact of Tether pumping prices and how now we are seeing the real value of the coins because of the investigation of price manipulation? Well, I'm not going to really go too much into the Tether details, but there is allegations that Tether was manipulating the price, which caused this massive swelling of the market, which, there was always this kind of question that people would always say is, how come everything goes red on the same day and everything goes green on the same day? Like, what's up with that? Remember, that's always, even this case, like, it was very seldom that we would see a healthy market where some things were in the red and some things were in the green. But it was like everything would pretty much 80 to 90% of the coins would be the same color on the same day. And it was just like day in, day out. Like, even right now, if we just go to the market and we look at the top 100 coins, I mean, if we look at the 24-hour, I mean, I've got literally everything in the red except for game.com, which is pumping. And game.com and Tether are the only two things in the green. But a healthy market, even on a sour day where things are selling off, I mean, you should see periodic, like a couple of days out of the week where it's like 50-50 or 60-40. But for the most part, it's really just everything's either green or red, right? Yeah, Crypto Fury says, I always ask myself about the strange synchronicity. And this kind of ties back into that whole comment that was made about Tether. Like, where does that come from? Is it just like some whale out there who owns every single one of the coins? Or is it like the exchanges? Do the exchanges just manipulate the prices? Like, who is it that's manipulating the prices? Is it Jeff? No, it's not Jeff. Is it McAfee? Probably not. But who is it? It's one of those things. It's like the Wizard of Oz, like the wizard behind the curtains. Like, who's the market maker? Like, who's controlling the market? And we'll never know. And they're in control, and we're not. The only thing we can do is try to understand how it's working, right? It's like life. It's like when you get a job, like you got to work. If you want to be successful, you got to play the game. And if you're going to play with crypto, you got to play the game. And your job is to learn how to play the game and be the best at the game that you can be to really win at the game. So that's why I'm saying, like, it's like, just look at it like if you're playing sports. I mean, it's not going to do you any good. You can't blame your best friend because you suck at basketball. You can't blame your best friend because you suck at finances. The only thing you can do is say, F this, I'm going to get better at managing my finances. I'm going to get better at managing crypto. By all means, I'm not going to, you can say, well, I give up. Go do that. Give up. But don't come in here and say that you're going to play the game and you're going to invest and then complain, because that's not going to fix anything. It's not going to fix my attitude. It's not going to fix your attitude. It's not going to fix your bank account or mine. So that's where it goes back to what I tweeted out on my Twitter on Blockchain J. It's like, hey, brace for impact, do risk assessment, do damage control, and look for the opportunities. Like, blaming other people, complaining is not the solution. Like, if you're going to complain, you might just be better off just standing on the sidelines and not participating. People are going to say, well, Jeff, don't chase people out of the market. No, why do you want those people in the market? They're toxic. I'm looking at everything you guys are saying. Mike Hayer says crypto for life. Mark Becker says, can you ask again? Smash up the likes. Mark, I'll just read your comment. How about that? Mark says, smash up the likes, guys. Crypto Fury says, how ironic. The very thing crypto tried to get away from since inception is how the game turned out. Manipulation, brother. It's sad, but I'm still in. That's what I'm saying. Like, we all want to make enemies of the bankers, but they're the ones with the big capital. They're going to move the market. That's going to move up your positions. At the end of the day, like, demonizing there's ever since history, like, go to Europe, go to Asia. The one thing you know is there's always kings. There's always governments. There's always bosses. Like here in Italy, you have this family called the Medici family. In Germany, you have the history of the Rothschild family. I mean, but before the Rothschilds, there was the Medici. But before the Medici, there was the Chinese who were trading with paper. So there's always going to be this centralized banking. Even with crypto, there's always going to be this like Medici family, this Rothschild family, in this case with Bitcoin, it's the Winklevoss, right? So, I mean, there's always going to be market makers and people who are going to control it. And it's not going to be the small people like you and me. Now, obviously, maybe one of us, maybe, who knows, maybe I'll rise to power and blah, blah, blah. I'm just pontificating here, but you get the point. Jeff Thompson says, crying about prices right now won't help. Thank you, Jeff. Jeff Thompson, not me. But yeah, I mean, you'd be surprised how many people are out there whining like it's someone else's fault that their portfolio is not up. Like, really? Dominic says he's building staking positions. Yeah, like I said, he says he's into Nebulo. I'll just give you your moment here. Qtum, DCR, and Neo. I like proof of work. Oh, it's funny now people are saying Neo's struggling, sell Neo, blah, blah, blah. But there was a point in time where everyone was like, if I said that I was selling Neo at $140, people were like, you're dumb, Jeff. You're the dumbest person I ever met for selling Neo at 140. That's what they'd say. So it was like, when I announced that I was selling Tron at 28 cents, people were like, unsub, because what were we in? We were in a market of overexuberance and people who were just irrational about their fanfare. And you had to look at, like, was Tron at $10 billion market cap or $8 billion market cap really worth $8 billion as a baby project? Probably not. So you had reason to believe that it was overvalued, right? And that was kind of what we've seen throughout the whole market. Like a lot of the market, if you really looked at it, like GoPro, for example, I'm a big fan of GoPro. I got my GoPro here. I go around, I film all my stuff for Island Hopper TV on GoPro, and I like GoPro products because they've been successful at giving me the quality that I need, except for their drone. Their drone sucked. But as far as camera gear, it's pretty good. I'd like it to zoom, but is Tron really worth more? Does Tron have more real world value than GoPro? I mean, look, what's the market cap on GoPro? It's like less than $1 billion. And Tron's sitting at what? I mean, Tron hasn't done a damn thing for anyone other than themselves, and they're sitting at 3 times the market value of GoPro. And they haven't done anything, and GoPro is world renowned. So, I mean, that's the kind of stuff we're dealing with. And now, could Tron become the next Microsoft? Could it become the next Facebook? Could it become the next, big tech company? Sure. And then if it gets there, we're looking at what's Microsoft valued at? I think like last I checked, like almost $800 billion. So if it goes from 2.5 billion to 800 billion, then there's big gains there, right? But I mean, we're still a long ways from that. And all we've seen from them is talkie. Wow, we're at 306 people viewing now. So thanks to everyone who's been crushing up those likes. We're getting this thing out there. Yeah, we should focus on projects that are making the world better. Less on price. Let's talk about price when the bulls are back. Yeah, I mean, everyone's in it for the price. We all want to earn some money. We all want to collect some money, and we want to go, do what we got to do. We want to build a house. We want to go buy our girlfriend the best of the best. We want to buy her a Lambo because we don't want that Lambo for us. Lambo for our girl, that Lambo, because you want to go 120 on I-10. John Hill says, I blame Jeff for the bear market. Okay. I know he's joking, but it's funny because there's people out there who probably think that. People like Nano. I mean, Nano was at $10. Now it's at 196. I mean, if you bought, I'm pretty sure people are not too thrilled about that. But if you bought Nano at 10, if you bought Nano at 18 when it was ride blocks, are you going to buy it now when it's 196? What's changed for you? I mean, now would probably be a pretty decent time. Stephen Campbell says Lambo is going out of business due to crypto cash. Nah, I'm not buying a Lambo for a Western chick. Okay. Is Bitcoin, what you guys are complaining about Bitcoin's price? You know about the bet that Doug Polk has with Tone Bays, right? So, all right, guys. Well, anyways, we're at 47 minutes. You guys are always fun to hang out with. I got to admit, there's always some funny comments that you guys put a smile on my face, really. I mean, I can keep going, but looks like a lot of you guys are already taken off. I don't drink that much. Like, I'll have a beer every other day. I'll have like a couple beers. Like, I might go out and drink. It's actually Milan is the city I would like to go drinking in, actually. Peace out from Greece. Jeff, do we have to move TRX to, I don't know what you're going to do with that. I mean, you guys are going to have to make your own decisions on what you do with your own portfolio. I mean, if we're going to talk crypto, it's just like we're sitting at a bar hanging out talking crypto. I mean, that's what I've always said to you guys is cheers to beers. We're out here talking crypto because we're all participating. But I mean, as far as like your ideas or my ideas, we're all just guys in a bar just shooting it up. I mean, trying to see where this thing's going. I mean, my opinions are my opinions, your opinions are your opinions, and we're going to talk about it. And that's what we do. If we get excited about something, we get excited about something. But hey, we got to be men about this and women about this if you're a lady joining us. But, we got to put on our, we got to put our best foot forward every time. Boz, man, dude, some of you guys are awesome. You're funny, man. Jeff, you need to visit Costa del Seoul. I thought you were going to say Costa Rica. Oh my God. Dude, the comments that are coming in right now are hilarious. Oh, okay. All right. Anyways, guys, thanks to everyone who crushed up the likes. We'll see you next time.